Okay. Hi, everybody. Happy Wednesday afternoon. We are here again. My name is Gila Kurtz. I'm one of the co-founders and co-owners of Dog is Good, a lifestyle brand for dog lovers. And as always, I'm excited to talk to our guests. Our team finds the best people for us to connect with. And, what I'm loving about the conversation we're going to have today is that how cool is it to do something that is just pure fun? How many of us get to work every day and do things that not only we love, but it's just a lot of fun and get to do it with our dogs. So before we even get started, I want to ask you to share this with the people that you know. And as you pop in, let us know where you're from. Tell us about your dog, what kind of dog you have. And already Amy is saying hi. Kermit says hello. I'm assuming that you guys might know each other. Or not. And if not, then we say hi to Kermit too. And Kalia up in Washington as well, watching. We also have a giveaway. We do this every single week. So if you have not watched this show before, every other week, actually, the show now is every other week, but we give away an item. And this is our Dog Mom Best Relationship Ever hoodie. It's super soft on the inside and it's perfect, with Mother's Day coming up. Get one for yourself, and you can also get some for your dog loving friends who are dog moms. And we hold that space open for 24 hours. So if you are watching the replay, go ahead and enter because you stand a chance to win as well. So I want to get ready to welcome our guest. And she's actually extra special because she also happens to be an ambassador for Dog is Good. We are so lucky to have amazing people around the country who live these incredible lifestyles with their dogs and kind of epitomize everything that our brand is about. And Sara is absolutely one of those people. And hi, Rhonda from Oklahoma. Welcome. So I want to give you a warm introduction because in your young age, you have done quite a few things. And I think it's very inspirational for people, not only to learn about what you're doing, but to understand that it doesn't matter how young or how old you are. If you love to do something, if you see opportunity and you want to jump in on it, you just should. So Sara Carson is the founder of the Super Collies. And if you have not seen them, there are a gazillion videos that you can look up on YouTube to get fully entertained because it is a lot of fun. She successfully ran her own dog training facility for over 5 years. She is revered as one of the top international trick dog trainers and has received several awards showcasing her achievements in the past several years. Her dogs have earned a multitude of agility titles. They are savvy in dock diving, frisbee, and canine freestyle. She is amazing. She has been on a number of media outlets, including The Late Show with David Letterman, and she continues to captivate audiences all over the world, aptly earning her title as Celebrity Dog Trainer after placing 5th on America's Got Talent. She was also awarded Dog Trainer of the Year in 2017 from Greater Mats. So that's congratulations. You have so many fun accomplishments. And if I could list her resume of appearances, but it would take the entire hour. So you can just go to the website, the Super Collies, and see where she has been and what she has done. And she has been doing this for a very long time. So Sara, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm so sorry. That was a mouthful to say.
Oh, no worries at all. I love to share you with everybody because you are doing some pretty cool things and you started at a very young age. So how, when did dogs come into your life and when did you start to, build this relationship that has turned into ultimately this amazing business that you run?
Yeah. So I actually got my first dog when I was about 8 years old. And I was just watching YouTube videos of dog training and I just fell in love with it. So I started with tricks and then I went into agility. And my poor little Cocker Spaniel at the time was like, dude, I just want to sleep on the couch and not be doing all this crazy stuff.
Oh my gosh.
So ultimately I wanted to get another dog. And at the time, my family was very much against that. So when I was 15, I opened up my own dog training facility and I trained thousands and thousands of dogs for about 5 years. And I
Okay.
ended up getting Hero.
Back up because that's a lot to unpack right there. At 15, you opened your first dog training facility. So tell me what went into doing that.
Well, I tried to find a space first because I was just doing it in my backyard for a little
Mm-hmm.
while. And I had like 2 or 3 people a month coming to my backyard to do
Mm-hmm.
agility. And I just wanted to kind of get an indoor facility. So I was just looking around, and it just so happened that a new doggy daycare had opened up. And they had a really nice indoor space. So I went over, and I don't think they thought that it was going to be as successful as it was. So they were just like, yeah, you want to use the space at night? Sure, it's yours. So I ended up just advertising a lot. At the time, the internet wasn't that big of a thing. So I would just print off like those little tab sheets to get the phone number, and I would put them up at grocery stores and all of those fun places. And I ended up going from 3 people a month to 40 people a month.
Wow.
It grew tremendously.
That's
and,
awesome.
It was pretty fun.
So I'm curious, some people might say, who are younger in their teens and say to themselves, I'm not old enough, or maybe the adults would look at the teen and think, what qualifies you to help me train my dog? So how, clearly you have a level of confidence, and that's critical when starting a business, but, did you have any of those challenges, and how did you overcome those?
Yeah, I mean, I would have people show up to the doggy daycare and go to the owners of the facility and be like, hey, like, we're here for class. Mm-hmm. And they would just kind of point to me sitting in the corner with my binder. And I was like, hey, I'm the dog trainer. So it was, I wouldn't say I overcame the challenges because it was just something that kind of happened. Mm-hmm. But I would feel like I would kind of have to prove myself to them. Right. And I definitely sound more mature over the phone when then they show up and they see like this 15, 16-year-old girl.
Right.
I wouldn't say I overcame the challenges. I just kind of like pushed through.
Got it. And clearly you're a hustler. I mean, anybody who can grow that kind of business that quickly, getting out there. And so what would you say to people who are thinking about starting something, whether it's in the dog world or not? Like, what does that take to come up, to have the idea, but then to get into momentum so that you really just get the ball rolling? As it's much easier to go fast than it is to go slow. At least that's how
it is. Yeah. I think the biggest thing is just you have to tell yourself that it's not impossible, right? Because it might seem impossible at the time, but it just takes a lot. It just takes a lot of time, a lot of effort. I couldn't drive at the time, so I was taking the city bus to all these places and putting up all the signs. There was times when I would actually go through the grocery store, and like while I'm walking out, somebody would be like grabbing my number and be like, "Oh, this sounds fun." I'd be like, "Yeah, I heard she's really good." Just like walking by.
That's awesome.
So like it's just one of those things that takes a lot of time and effort. Mm-hmm. And like you said, like I'm definitely a hustler, so I would not give up, and I put a lot of time into it.
Yeah, absolutely. And clearly, that's what, has brought you to the place where you are today. So let's talk about that. At some point with all the, tricks are fun. Everybody loves to be able to teach their dog tricks. And quite honestly, I'm sure you would agree that everything that we teach our dog is a trick. It's, we can call it obedience or whatever we want to call it. But in essence, if we just look at it as a trick, it really takes the stress off of us or off our clients in what they're, working with on their dog. But as you were practicing tricks, what were some of the first tricks that you learned or taught your dogs?
So I always start with the basics. So sit, down, stay, recall. Mm-hmm. But I like to teach body awareness tricks. So I teach them how to spin. I teach them how to pivot around a bowl. I teach them how to back up. Just tricks that'll help them do other behaviors. So just like the stepping stone behaviors, pretty much.
Yeah. And so as you were, I guess, perfecting your own skill set in teaching your dogs, at what point did you say, God, it'd be kind of cool if I went on America's Got Talent?
Well, they actually were contacting me pretty much like once every year for quite some time.
Oh.
And it was ever since one of my videos went viral.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Which video was that one?
I think it was the Boogie Shoes video. Okay. It was actually shot in North Bay. And I ended up posting it as like an audition tape for the Ellen show. And they never picked it up, but the video went viral pretty much overnight with I think it was like 22 million views or something.
Oh,
It was crazy. Yeah. So that happened. And they were reaching out, and you need a work visa in order to come to the United States to do the show. And at the time I was like, I think 17.
Okay.
And I didn't have that. I was still going through college and doing the motions. So when I finally graduated from college, I came out to the States, worked for a company called Stunt Dog Productions, and I had a visa. So I was like, sure, let's go and give it a try.
That's awesome. And so when you came out here, which dogs did you participate on the show with?
So I had Hero, Marvel, and Loki.
Okay, great. And you guys, if you're watching or listening to the replay, you can go to the website and look at these beautiful dogs. We'll talk about them a little bit more in a second. So let's back up to this audition that you went to. So you bring your dogs here, and tell us about the audition. Like, what was that like?
Yeah, so my audition was a little different because normally you have to go through like the producers and stuff, but I actually got to go straight to the audition that you see on TV. So, yeah, which was kind of nice. So we went out, we did our audition. We thought that we nailed it. And it just so happens that you need to have at least 3 yeses to go through.
Okay.
And I ended up getting 2 yeses and 2 nos. So I didn't get on the show.
Oh, okay.
And that was just, it was heartbreaking.
Wait, who were the judges? I know Simon.
Oh yeah. So it was Howie Mandel, Simon Cowell, Heidi Klum, and Mel B.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, so the regular ones, although I think this year they changed them. But yeah, so Howie and Heidi Simon and Heidi gave me yes, and Howie and Mel B gave me a no. Okay. So I pretty much broke down on stage because I had worked so hard to be there. Yeah. And Simon ended up coming on stage and giving me a hug and pretty much changing Howie's mind and giving me 3 yeses. So I got on the show.
Well, that was so lovely of Simon.
He's a huge dog lover.
And I was going to ask that. So I'm curious if Mel or Howie have dogs, because maybe, you know, when you have a dog, your inclination, you're so drawn to it. And if you don't, then, you know, sometimes it doesn't resonate in the same capacity. So are they dog owners?
Yeah, they all have dogs. I actually got to train them in the finale. We did like a little segment where they brought their dogs in and we did some training. Oh, cool. And all of them failed miserably, but that's okay.
I bet they had fun though. That's so cool.
Yeah, so they all had dogs. Heidi was honestly the most down to earth one. And she loves her dogs. So that was cool.
That's awesome. So you went through the whole process, the show season, you ended up 5th place, right?
Yep.
And, you know, so what was that like going through, you know, week by week? You had to update your routine. You had to come up with some new stuff, obviously, to keep it fresh.
It was very stressful. I mean,
yeah, I was going to say, it must have been.
Yeah, there were times where I only had a week to put together a brand new routine to perform in front of 53 million people.
Wow.
So it was very stressful.
And how does that impact the dogs? Because, you know, obviously they pick up on your stress. And obviously you have their best interest at heart. So you're cognizant of how much they can be working, what they can be doing in a certain period of time so they don't get stressed. How did you handle that?
So Hero is a professional. He doesn't care. That doesn't affect him. Loki was only a year old, and I swore it was going to affect him, and he was pretty solid. The only dog it really affected was Marvel, and she's kind of like I don't know. She's a rehome, and she has some behavioral issues, and she kind of shut down under the pressure. So she was supposed to be in the beach one, which was the semifinals, and we had to pull her because she was just shutting down on stage. She actually did get to be in the finale, and she did like 2 agility jumps in a tunnel, and that's all. I think she was maybe 6 seconds of fame, but that's all she could handle. So
okay, good. And so you're paying attention to that, right? And like their sanity, if you will, their well-being comes first before.
Exactly. You have to advocate for your dog. I could have easily tried to put her in the semifinals and had her shut down on stage and make it look terrible. But when we did the actual audition or the rehearsal on stage and she wasn't doing it, I pulled her, and she was supposed to do the Frisbee. So I just had to teach Hero how to do the Frisbee segment really quickly, and he nailed it, which was great. But yeah, and it's interesting how, so let's talk about your dogs for just a second. And then I'm also curious to know what doors opened up post America's Got Talent. Let's highlight the dogs for just a second. So you've got 5 dogs. 5. Yep.
And as I was, peeking at them more deeply on the website, they're beautiful, stunning dogs. But I love the fact that a few of them are rescue dogs. So clearly when you're traveling, you're seeking opportunity to not only rescue, but add to your production, if you will, and to your family. Okay. So what is it when you are in a position to, and presented with an opportunity to bring another dog into your family who may also be part of the show? What is it that you're looking for? How do you evaluate?
Yes, I'm looking for the dogs that nobody wants to deal with. Either dogs that have extreme toy drive, or dogs just have a lot of pent up energy that need to be worked. That's kind of why I stick with border collies or herding dogs. Or herding mixes, because they need a job. They're only happy if they have a job.
Right.
I actually, at a ranch in California, I get a lot of board and trains that are herding breeds. And it's just because the people know that the dogs need agility, they need frisbee, they need dock diving, they need mental games, and they just can't provide that. So that's kind of why I stick with that. And like you mentioned, a few of my dogs are rescues. My craziest one is Thor. And we just saw a video of him on Facebook at a shelter in Kentucky. And he looked so much like Loki. I just fell in love with him. So I had a friend go out. She evaluated him. She confirmed that, yes, he's super fat and needs to lose weight, but he has a lot of energy. So we flew him to California. And he's still in training, but he's great. He just has a lot of energy.
Oh, that's amazing. So I'm trying to figure out which order I want to ask some of these questions. And you guys, as you're watching, feel free to pop in questions as well. One thing that I am curious to know, so post America's Got Talent, what doors opened up and how did that shift maybe, what you saw as opportunity and possibility for yourself?
Yes. I had a lot of opportunity before AGT. I just feel like I had bigger opportunities afterwards. So I headlined a show in Reno over Christmas, which was super fun. I used Hero and Loki for that one. We got to do a few NBA and NFL game halftime shows. Oh God, we did a cool commercial recently for Arvest Bank, which it's probably, I don't know, I'm kind of biased, but it's probably the best commercial airing right now.
Awesome.
But yeah, it's just a lot of opportunities that I got them because people saw me on AGT.
And so how soon after? So you were 18 when you did, now how old were you when you did the show?
18. Yeah.
Okay. 18 and you're 24 now. So it's been.
No. How old was I when I did the show? Man, 22.
Oh, okay. So it's just been a couple of years.
Yeah. It's only been 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah. So like 20, 21, 22.
Okay. And as you are, preparing for events and things that you do, how, what is your process of, what are your favorite things to teach, I guess I should say, and how do you evaluate which dogs would be better suited for a particular skill?
Totally. So most of my dogs do everything. Loki, for example, excels at canine freestyle and dock diving and is terrible at frisbee, but loves it. He just will never catch it. So it's a matter of just training the dog for each individual sport and then just seeing what they excel at. Pretty much all of my dogs are food motivated and they can do tricks because that's kind of my main thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, when it comes to all the other sports and skills, it's just a matter of testing them out and seeing what they like. Yeah.
And so I know that you're a very active person. You lead an incredibly active lifestyle. How do you determine, the dogs, what they're doing? Obviously it's a job, but for them, it's fun. This is what they love to do. And, so it's not like us where, we're working and we have set hours and maybe, we're too tired one day. We don't feel like doing it. But how do you incorporate just the downtime and the off work time? What kind of activities do you like to do? And has that shifted as you've grown this business and the shows and the presentations that you do with the pups?
Yes. A lot of the things that with pretty much any dog trainer, structure is key when it comes to working dogs. So my dogs are crate trained. They go in their crates when they're not working. They go in their crates when I'm not home. When I'm home, we do have a ranch. So sometimes they're out, sometimes they're not. Sometimes they're out alone, or I let them out in groups because
Mm-hmm.
Marvel doesn't like other dogs. So I
Mm.
have to be kind of management with that. Um, but I don't know. Like before, when I wasn't performing as much, I would go hiking. I would take them to the beach, and I would do all like the fun, normal pet dog activities. But now that I'm kind of more of a professional in the industry, I can't chance them getting injured.
Right.
So when I flew with Loki to Texas recently to teach a dog training workshop,
Mm-hmm.
and he actually got to go hiking and he went swimming and stuff. And then he ripped two of his pads because we did that. So he
Oh,
was out for
yeah.
3 or 4 days.
Mm.
So it's a matter of risk versus reward when it comes
Mm-hmm.
to what I do with my dogs. They're super happy working just as much as they'd be happy going for a hike.
Mm.
So it's just a matter of what I want to do at the time.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, my favorite things to train is obviously tricks, because the steps to actually complete a behavior is really rewarding to me. And I
Mm-hmm.
love seeing how the dog grows. Like a walking handstand takes months and months and months. But
Yeah.
when you actually manage to get them to do their first walking handstand, it's a really cool feeling.
Oh my gosh, I can only imagine. And one of the things that I love though, and this just comes from, I love, looking at businesses from an analysis standpoint, I guess is the best use of my language right now. And that would be that you're very niche, right? So
Yeah.
you're a dog trainer, but there are dog trainers, a lot of dog trainers that cover the basic manners and the core things that the average family is interested in. But you do something that's really fun and that probably can engage the entire family, kids included, and it's very niche. And so just speak to that for a second, the importance of, we have a little, sentiment that I've heard before, the riches are in the niches, so to speak.
Yeah.
Obviously we're all in business. We want to make money. By making money, we can give back and, do good. But how did you tend to hone, because of your love for the tricks, do you tend to narrow down as the expert in the trick training and focus mostly on that? Or are you also trying to do all the other things that are encompassed in a typical dog training program?
Yeah. So I do pretty much everything.
Mm-hmm.
But you're right. My niche is pretty much trick training. So I would consider myself an expert in that field. And that's when I go out and I teach trick workshops. It's just tricks and canine freestyle. But at the ranch, we offer dock diving, we offer agility, we offer a whole bunch of different things. But yeah, I'm definitely more focused on the trick training.
Okay. And you have come out with an app that I don't know if it's live just yet. It looks like it's about to
Yep.
be live. Oh, it is live.
Yep.
Okay. I was trying to get on it. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so Pupper actually came out the date of my America's Got Talent audition, which
Okay.
was super cool to launch it that same day. It's been out for 2 years now. It has over 70 different behaviors that you can teach your dog. So
Nice.
everything from basic obedience to walking handstands.
Mm.
And we have a lot of things planned for Pupper. But yeah, it's doing extremely well and people love it, which is fantastic. So it's pretty exciting to have that. It's available on iOS and Android, and it's free to download.
Oh, perfect. Tell us about the dogs individually, like their personalities, what you love most about them, and what you feel their favorite trick is.
Oh gosh. All right. So Hero is going to be 8 years old this year, and he loves everything. Hero seriously just loves to work. He doesn't care what it is. He loves to work and he likes to bark about it. He's my only dog that barks while he performs, which some people think is annoying, but he's just having fun. So I allow it.
Great. Yeah.
Yeah. Marvel likes Frisbee. Marvel just turned 4 actually, which is crazy, but she loves Frisbee. Loki just turned 3 yesterday, and he's kind of like Hero. He kind of loves everything. Can't do Frisbee worth his life. Yeah, he's a really crazy little animal. I call him a Malinois because he literally is that crazy. He can do everything.
Mm-hmm.
Who else? Thor would rather snuggle than work, but we're getting there.
Right.
That's kind of what happens when you adopt and you try and convert them to a sport dog, because he's like I said, he was very overweight when I adopted him, so I'm sure that he was just spoiled rotten, or neglected, one of the two. But he just loves to snuggle. He loves attention. And then my newest is Groot. He's a 6-month-old border collie puppy, and he's I don't know what he is yet. He's so young that we just, again, we work on everything until we find what he likes.
Mm.
And right now it's kind of all over the place. He likes Frisbee. We're working on getting him in the pool. He likes agility. He likes tricks. So it's just a matter of,
Your dogs are lucky, lucky dogs. They have,
yeah,
they came into the right family for sure.
Yeah.
So what, for people who want to start out in some of these active sports, whether it's dock diving or the agility or Frisbee dogs, I mean, my only pain point is when I attend a Frisbee event and I hear a novice family thinking, oh, this would be so cool. I want to get a border collie. And we're like, no,
don't do it.
So, you know, for families though who or individuals who are interested in pursuing fun activities with their dogs, where would you suggest they start?
Honestly, I would say download my app and figure out what works best, because we do have all the sports available on there too. But honestly, just find a club or a local trainer and just give it a try. Take your dog, see if they like it, see if you like it. Don't get a border collie because you saw a trained one on TV.
Yeah.
But any dog can do these sports. So if you have just a mutt at home, give it a try. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What are some of your favorite tricks? I know you mentioned the handstand.
Oh gosh, I love handstand. I don't know. Agility used to be what I did for a very, very long time. So I still love agility training. But ultimate favorite tricks, gosh. I guess just canine freestyle in general, because it's all of the tricks.
So I'm curious, you know, your dogs love to do this all the time. Do you ever get to a point where you're like, okay, like I need a break. I'm done.
Not yet. I'm sure I will eventually. Not
okay.
Yet.
So what are you most excited about as you're growing your current business? How do you plan to continue to grow and expand that? Or do you look to maintain and perform around the country? What are you most excited about?
Honestly, I've been doing this so long that I'm excited to be able to stay at home and train dogs.
Oh.
I fly or I drive once a month to an event, and that's it. When it used to be, I lived in a car and I did it for a living. So I'm excited to just be able to stay home. That's
great.
Yeah, and slow it down a little.
Good. Do you guys have any questions for Sara? If you do, feel free to just pop those in. Curious for the challenging problem behaviors that are probably the most prominent. So trick training aside for a second. Oh, wow. So Tom has 8 dogs, 5 cats, and 2 raccoons. That is quite the household.
Wow.
And you know what's cool about tricks? I don't know how you teach them, but you can do trick training with pretty much any animal, which is extra fun, just as long as they are physiologically able to actually perform what it is you want them to do.
Yeah, I've trained rats, I've trained chipmunks, pretty much anything. Like food motivated animals are the easiest animals to train.
Yes, for sure. Sorry, I just forgot what I was just asking you as I got distracted with the typical problem behaviors that are just common for the average family. What would you say is the most common one you receive, and do you have any tips for our viewers?
Yeah, so most dogs are spoiled. That is kind of what it comes down to. People love their pets, which is fine, but sometimes loving them too much can cause issues. So the biggest one is crate training. Some people don't like it. Some people like it. I think it's pretty much necessary. I think every dog should be crate trained, and every dog needs to have that structure in their life, so they don't have freedom 24/7. Feeding your dog, most people just put the bowl on the ground, fill it up, or leave it full, and that's really, really bad. So those 2 things, if that changes and you crate train your dog and you monitor their food, you make them work for their food, that will just change your life.
I could not agree more with you. That is such a basic thing, and people find that when they are able to implement that, because those are the things that I also will teach and encourage our puppy clients to do, is they take on a level of leadership and guidance that just makes the rest of it so much easier, for sure.
I always tell people you can spoil your dog in different ways.
Yeah, exactly.
Those 2 things.
So I would love for you to fill in this blank.
Mhm.
Or actually, I'll answer this question first. What is the greatest lesson so far that you would say your dogs have taught you in terms of how you live your life?
Patience.
Ah,
They've taught me patience. And trust me, there are still times where I have to stop what I'm doing and just put them away and be like, nope, I'm not doing this right now. But they've taught me how to kind of be patient and wait things out. Yeah, that's probably the biggest thing, just patience.
okay. It's such a great one, and we need that. We need to slow down and remind ourselves that, yes, just take a step back and deep breath. And
Yeah.
everything doesn't always come to fruition as we want it to in that moment. So that's a good one. How would you fill in this blank? And I realize you have 5 of them, but maybe you can come up with a word inclusively.
Okay.
Dog is my
partner.
Yeah, that's so fitting for what you do.
Yeah, my dogs are my partners. They're my partners in crime.
Yep, that is awesome. Well, Sara, I want to thank you personally too. You're a great ambassador for Dog is Good. I love that you're living a total dog lifestyle. You're having fun. Your dogs are having fun, and you're inspiring, others, whether it's just to have fun with their dogs, to help them ensure that those dogs stay with them for the life of the dog, and also that you're inspire others. If you at 24, super successful, following your passions, following your dreams, and just making things happen for yourself. And so she's just a testament to what is possible when you put your mind to it. And Tom, I love what you just wrote. Soul's companion for sure. So with that, just a reminder, guys, you can enter to win. If you are watching the replay, you got 24 hours to do it as well, to win a Dog Mom hoodie just in time for upcoming Mother's Day next month already. And, please stay tuned, share this with your friends. Join us every other Wednesday, although I think we're going to be live again next week with another guest for the Dog is Good Lifestyle Show. And if you have not already joined the private Dog is Good Lifestyle group, you need to do that because we do a lot of fun things in there that we don't do anywhere else. And if you are also not receiving notes of inspiration directly from the mouths of your own dogs, then you are missing out. So sign up for Fur Covered Wisdom to get your note of inspiration every week directly from your dog, signed by your dog, and it has a funny way of showing up exactly. They tell you exactly what you need to hear just in the right moment that you need to hear it. So with that, Sara, thank you so much. And everybody else, enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. Talk to everybody soon. Take care.